Well, here we are in late autumn. Well, not quite. It's not autumn yet, but it's late summer. But all the wild roses, they've finished their fruiting. But if we look carefully, we might find a couple. Let's have a look. Foraging. We'll forage for some. We'll see if we can find a couple of last remaining ones. Oops, not there. Oh look, there's one. Look, there we have it. There's one there. Not quite ripe. No, it's not quite ripe, but that'll do. It's a rose hip. That'll do for our experiment. Here we are. See the rose hips here? Can you see them? Probably not. Where are they? Yes, the rose hips there. Beautiful rose hips. Yes. And all you do is simply go out and harvest your rose hips when they're nice and ripe and glossy. Don't want them too old. You know, these ones weren't watered. Just take the rose hip. Oh. And there it is. Oops. Take the rose hip and cut it in half lengthwise. Without cutting myself, of course. And yes, you can see it's full of these little bristles, and you've got to avoid eating those bristles because they'll get caught in your throat and you'll be scratching your throat for hours trying to get rid of them. So you must make sure you don't eat the bristles. I just use my fingernail to clean them out. I just use my fingernail usually to clean them out, but most of it will come out with a fingernail. But to make sure, you can give them a blast under the tap as well, under the hose or a garden tap. And once you've done that, you're left with a little shell of fruit. Oops, there's still a bit there, and I think I was about to eat that. Yes, it's worthwhile to give them a blast under the tap, really. Oops. Yes. There you have a little shell of fruit. A little shell of fruit. You can make it into rosehip tea, or you can eat it fresh. I think I should really give it a wash because I don't really want any tiny little thorns in my throat. You can just dry it out and use it as rosehip tea, or you can stew it into a jelly to make for bread and jam, or you can make it into nice with sugar, stew it into a nice rosehip syrup and pour that syrup onto ice cream, or use it for babies. They like rosehip syrup, don't they? It is lovely stuff, and it's one of the richest sources of vitamin C. And it's free. It grows along roadsides, but of course you can use your just any cultivated rose, provided they're not covered in pesticides. You can use any rose hips from your garden, and indeed you'll probably find that they're much bigger. Some of them get about that big fragrant ones. Wait till they go red and juicy. Big giant ones after the roses have finished their flowering. You can use. You can yes, make them into tea bags. Free food. The food should be unlocked. Look in the sidebar for information. I've written out how to do it all. Yummy.